right, so I've been wanting macaroni and cheese for a few days now, and yesterday I wanted it again, and I started thinking about Cracker Barrel. They don't have the best macaroni, but it is, to me, to my taste, I do like it. It's good macaroni, and whenever I go to Cracker Barrel, I always get, or I typically get the country fried steak, macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, and sometimes broccoli. So anyway, tonight I am going to make country fried steak using cubed steak. I think one will be sufficient, and some macaroni and cheese. So let's get started with the cube steak. The first thing is to put this on my cutting board, and I'm going to cover it. Cover it with a piece of plastic to thin this out. It says to 1/4. I don't have a meat mallet, so I'm using my roller, which works just as well. So I'm going to roll this out until it's flat and kind of even all the way around. I think that's good. And now I'm going to season both sides with salt and pepper. So some salt. That might be too much, so I'll go light on the other side. Some pepper. I don't know if I told y'all, but since I've started doing this cooking, pepper now makes me sneeze. So when I'm making the videos, I often end up sneezing whenever I use pepper. So this is the salt and pepper on both sides. If I can get the pepper out. And that's good. Alright, so for this next step, I'm going to crack my egg and put this in a shallow dish. And along with the egg, I'm going to add 1 cup of milk. And I know you're supposed to do this with the cup sitting down, but it's okay if it's not exact. So let's mix this together. This is the egg and the milk. In the second shallow pan, I'm going to add in some flour. It says 1.5 cups, but since I'm only making one, I'm only using one of the steaks, I'm just going to do 1 cup of flour. And then I'm going to season this with some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, some onion powder, if I can open it, and I'm going to put in some paprika. And I'm going to give this a good mix. Or a good shake. Alright, so now it's time to take this through the dredging station. I'm going to put it in the seasoned flour first. Make sure it's well coated. And then I'm going to put it in the egg and milk mixture. I should have made 2. I could have eaten this tomorrow. But I don't know if I'll like it rewarmed. I'm going to put it back in the flour mixture. Make sure it's well coated again. Shake off the excess, and then I'm going to sit this aside for about 15 minutes. I am going to pour some canola oil in my pan. The recipe calls for vegetable oil, but I prefer to fry with canola oil. I'm going to let this heat up, and then I'll be ready to fry the steak. Time to fry. Gonna fry it 3 minutes on each side. So this is frying faster than I thought. My oil is apparently too high, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this. Alright, now I'm going to take the steak out, put it on a paper towel, and the instructions say to salt immediately. I'm just going to add just a little salt to it because I put salt on the meat. And then I put salt on the breading again. And I know some probably came out in frying, but I don't need it to be too salty. Now, I'm going to transfer this to a baking sheet and just stick this in the oven while I'm making the gravy. Instructions tell me in the same pan, pour the oil out, which I've already done, so I can discard that later. And in this pan, I'm going to melt some butter. Now that the butter is melted, I'm going to add in some flour. And I'm going to whisk this around for about 2 or 3 minutes. Add in some heavy cream. Add in some milk. I'm just going to add a little at a time to make sure it's thick, to give the gravy a chance to get thick. Alright, and to finish this, I'm going to season. I'm just going to use some salt and pepper. And then I'll see what else I want to add. Onion powder. Garlic powder. Alright. I forgot to get a knife, but that's okay. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall. But let's cut into this country fried steak. Trying to do it without making the phone fall. There we go. Get some of the gravy. That's actually really good. I was worried that it was going to be too salty because I had to add salt at like every single step. I'm impressed. And let's taste this macaroni. I tried it yet another way. Pretty good. I did a mixture of milk and heavy cream in this one. I used all sorts of cheeses. Whatever block cheese I had, that's what I used. It's okay. It's not nasty. But it's still not the perfect macaroni and cheese. Don't worry though. I'm going to get it. I was able to perfect grits, so I will perfect macaroni also. Anyway, I'm going to finish eating. I'll see you guys in the next video.